That you're here and excited about this evening. We're sorry for a little bit late delay. We're having, due to unfortunate illnesses, a quick rearrangement of some things, and hope that those who are ill feel better. Just to go over our emergency exit procedures, the main doors that everyone came in and to the left will take you quickly outside, as well as the doors on either side of the blue curtain here. If we have to use it, which hopefully we never will, in terms of emergencies, please do so as orderly as possible. I don't believe we have any public comments. No one signed up at this time. Okay, so we will move to the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve? Kevin? Second? Joyce? Any changes or discussion quickly about that? No? All in favor? So 6-0. Note the absence of Maureen Knupp. So at this time we have very exciting part of board commendation as we move up close to Red Ribbon Week, and to announce the winner of this year's Red Ribbon. The Red Ribbon winner is chosen by members of the Chemical Prevention Advisory Council, which consists of principals, the village mayor, the town supervisor, and our chief of police, who will also be here later tonight for another part of the agenda. But you know, these are great people in the community and who get to pick the winner. Tonight we're going to have the presentation done by Mr. Damon Buffum. There's Leanna with the printout if you want.
She's got it. What's that? She's got
Damon.
it. Just in the nick of time. Thank you, Mrs. Watt.
Yeah. Is Madison Miles in the house? Hi, Madison. Come on down. Come on down. Congratulations. Nice job. I wish you guys could all see it because it's an awesome logo right here. Right. It is it's the famous fork in the road, and we can take the right-hand turn, which is the drug path. That's not the right path, right? Or we can take the left path, and that's Madison right there taking the left path. And that's the exercise path. So good job. I like it. It's like very inspirational and great leadership that you showed. So awesome job. So as you begin to see all the red ribbons around the community, you know we embrace Red Ribbon Week wholeheartedly. This effort is the most successful drug prevention event ever held nationwide. The Red Ribbon campaign began in 1988 in response to a drug enforcement agent, Enrique Camarena, being killed by drug traffickers in Mexico. Wearing red ribbons is a symbol of our commitment. You come up here. of our commitment to providing a drug-free future to our nation's youth. Red Ribbon Week is an opportunity for everyone to come together to celebrate healthy lifestyles in our community and in our school. We encourage all families to continue to promote a healthy lifestyle and celebrate all activities that take place in our schools throughout Red Ribbon Week. This is a great way to show your support for drug-free youth. You want to read that?
Sure. Last spring, the Fairport Parent and Chemical Prevention Advisory Council conducted a logo contest with our 5th grade DARE students. Their challenge was to design a logo for the Fairport community around the national theme, Life is Your Journey, Travel Drug-Free. The winning design was printed on 8,500 red ribbons and will be worn by youth and adults in the community during Red Ribbon Week, October 21st through 27th. On behalf of the Board of Education...
I'll read that.
Okay.
Right. Nice job, though. Right. On behalf of the Board of Education, we congratulate Madison on designing such an impressive logo. Madison Miles is a student at Joanna Perrin. She designed Fairport's 2018 winning logo as a Northside School 5th grade DARE student. Fantastic.
Good evening. Congratulations, Maddie. It's breathtaking to see all of our children in all their roles, seeing you even before you were you. It's pretty fascinating, and I'm proud of your work and all the work of our children. And the reason why we're able to do so many incredible things in this district, truly from where I'm sitting, I see it clearly. It's because of our Board of Education. As part of School Board Recognition Week, I have the pleasure of welcoming our principals, PTSA representatives, and students who are here to recognize Fairport's Board of Education members for their service to our students and our community. And I can say from firsthand experience that their advocacy, passion, and compassion for our children and our schools is second to none. It's an honor and privilege to work with all of you, and you're working when a lot of people aren't working, and you're doing it all in the name of loving and supporting our Fairport students, staff, and community. These 7 board members are the people who serve as educational advocates for all of our children. They're willing to take a stand on issues that affect our children and that are important for our community. Most important, everything they do, they care about our children. PTSA representatives and students are here tonight to thank the board members for their commitment and contribution to our community. I have the honor and privilege to bring up Mr. Robert Clark, Fairport High School principal, to begin this evening's ceremony. He'll be honoring board member Mr. Kevin Glover.
Oh, I think this makes 2 years in a row we were allowed to go first because some of our people have other engagements, so appreciate that. I know the proclamation is usually first. And I want to start by saying good evening, and on behalf of the students and staff at FHS, a heartfelt thank you to the Board of Education for all your support. We appreciate your focus on doing what's best for students and providing so many opportunities for them to reach their potential. This evening, I'm pleased to introduce our PTSA President, Linda Van Heel, and our senior Sierra Knight to honor Mr. Glover. But before I do, just want to say heartfelt thank you to Ms. Van Heel for taking on the role, PTSA President. We had to beg, and she was so gracious to do the job, and we'll be looking for a president after this year. So I'm going to turn things over to them. Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh. Hello, my name is Sierra Knight, and I'm currently a senior here at Fairport High School. It is my honor to be here tonight to recognize a person from the board who has dedicated their service towards our school community. The book that is being dedicated in his name is called Walk in Their Shoes, a powerful personal story of Jim Zwoski's inspiring mission to change the world, one community at a time. Hailed by Dalai Lama as an inspiring tribute to the power of compassion and education, the keys to leading a meaningful life. We would like to dedicate this book to Mr. Glover, and again, thanking him for all the time and effort he has provided to the school community to make it a better place.
Thank you, Sierra. I would like to have Mrs. Pam Sarandi come forward to recognize Board of Education member Joyce Kostick.
Thank you. I actually am going to defer to our students here.
Good evening. I'm Grace Cardinal, and this is Andrew Pulowski. We are the co-presidents of the class of 2022 at Minerva DeLand. Also joining us are Mrs. Serrani and Mrs. Van Heel, the FHS and MD PTSA president. On behalf of all the students and staff at Minerva DeLand, we would like to thank the Fairport Board of Education members for their ongoing support and involvement to make Fairport an outstanding school district.
Tonight, Minerva DeLand has the honor of recognizing the commitment of board member Ms. Joyce Kostick. Ms. Kostick was first elected to the Board of Education in 2002. During her time on the board, Ms. Kostick has served as vice president and president. She has been heavily involved in the National School Boards Association at the county, state, and national levels, attending many conferences and workshops over the years. She has also served as co-chair of the Monroe County School Board's Legislative Committee. In addition to her active involvement with legislative policy work, Ms. Kostick is also a tremendous advocate for early childhood and well-rounded education. She is passionate She's passionate about opportunities that meet students' social, emotional, and academic needs.
To recognize the many years of commitment to the Fairport school community, Minerva DeLand has purchased a new book to be added to our school library collection. The work is called This Moment Is Your Life, and So Is This One, by Miriam Gates. This book is a fun and easy guide to mindfulness, meditation, and yoga, specifically written for today's tweens and teens. According to the author, the key to happiness is being comfortable in this moment, here and now. This book is perfect for students at Minerva DeLand as it weaves in similarly aged students' perspectives and real-life applications throughout. Let's try it. Sit up tall and let your body relax. Take a deep breath in and then let a long breath out. Notice the calm here in the present. This moment is just fine.
This book will be placed in our library with a dedication plate honoring Ms. Kostick. Hopefully the students and staff at Minerva DeLand will enjoy reading about the importance of living in the moment. In conclusion, thank you, Ms. Kostick, for caring so much about our school system, and keep up the great work.
Thanks, Grace. I have the pleasure to introduce Principal of Brooks Hill, Meredith Cluse, to provide the proclamation for all board members. I believe she'll be bringing some friends up.
Good evening, Board of Ed. I want to turn this over to one of our PTA co-presidents, Michelle Wagner, and then she'll introduce the students.
Good evening. On behalf of the staff, students, and families of Brooks Hill School, we would like to formally recognize the Board of Education this evening. We appreciate the dedication and commitment the Board of Education members give to the Fairport school community, and specifically Brooks Hill School. Tonight, we have 5 fifth graders representing Brooks Hill School: Connor Forkay, Sean Griffin, Andrew Cole, Addison Rubenstein, and Tatum Watt. Not only are they strong role models in Fairport, but they are children of Brooks Hill staff members, representing the next generation of Brooks Hill's best.
Whereas this week of Board of Education Recognition Week in Fairport, New York, and October 22nd through 26th, 2018 has been declared Board of Education Recognition Week by Governor Andrew Cuomo, and
whereas the members of our Board of Education, Dr. O'Leary, Sergeant, Ms. Cardona, Ms. Kostick, Ms. Knupp, Mr. Glover, Mr. Buffum, and Mr. Forsgreen has demonstrated their dedication and commitment to the Fairport community. And
whereas this commitment includes ensuring that all Fairport children have access to an equal education because the children of Fairport represent the future. And whereas the outstanding effort and dedication of the Board of Education to the whole child makes our school community an exemplary place to learn and grow. And whereas the students of Brooks Hill School show appreciation for the Board of Education members who give their time and energy to this challenging and worthwhile endeavor and extend best wishes during this recognition time.
now, therefore, we, the Brooks Hill community, along with all the Fairport schools, do hereby proclaim that the week of October 22nd through 26th is Board of Education Recognition Week, and urge all Fairport leaders to come together to participate in giving thanks and praise to our Board of Education members.
Our students are giving each board member a formal copy on fancy paper of the proclamation. Thank you very much. And again, thank you to the Board of Ed for all that you do for our schools.
I know when our schools and our librarians and principals are picking out books, they do their best to try to do their best to choose the just right book that fits the persona or the personality of the person who they're honoring. This is the case when Dr. Karen Finger will be representing and honoring Mr. Damon Buffin.
Good evening. On behalf of the Dudley PTA teachers, staff, and students, we'd like to thank the entire Board of Education for all that you do to continue the tradition of excellence in Fairport schools. It is my pleasure to introduce two of our second grade Dudley Dragons, Brady Driscoll and Chloe Ozinski, as well as their moms and our PTA representatives, Sarah Driscoll and Erica Ozinski.
We are especially pleased to recognize Mr. Damon Buffin this evening. Mr. Buffin's involvement in education is long-standing. Mr. Buffin's grandmother was a teacher, his parents are teachers, his wife is a teacher, and his daughter is a teacher. We are fortunate to benefit from his strong dedication to education in the Fairport Central School District. Mr. Buffin has served on the Board of Education for the past 6 years and has lived in the Fairport community for the past 12 years. Outside his commitment to ensuring the best of educational experiences for our students, we learned that Mr. Buffin also cares deeply about the environment.
In honor of his interest, we have selected the book One Plastic Bag by Melendez Paul and illustrated by Elizabeth Zoon. One Plastic Bag is a beautiful true story about the Gambia women of West Africa and how they worked together and problem solved in a way that put trash to good use and ultimately cared for our environment. We are sure that this book will become very popular in our classrooms as a way for children to learn how important they each are and what we can do to care for our environment. We hope you enjoy the story as much as we have. Many thanks for all that you do.
I would like to ask Principal Aaron Moretter from Northside School to recognize Board of Education member Marty Cardona.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Northside School, we would like to thank the Board of Education for all of your support. And tonight we are honored to recognize Mrs. Marty Cardona. Since 2001, Mrs. Cardona has served our community as a member of the school board. We thank her for her commitment and her dedication to the Fairport Central School District. I'm joined up here tonight by two special people. One, Aaron Vandenberg, our Northside School PTA Vice President, and also a very special Northside third grade hero, Miss Macy Cardona Berger, who is going to present the book that she selected to present to her grandmother.
I selected this book, Love by Matt de la Pena for my grandma. I picked this book because she loves to give love and show love. She loves her grandchildren so much that she retired just to be with us. My mom and I love the pictures, and we thought Grandma would also like them. When I was younger and in preschool, my grandma would teach me easy math problems. I would teach these math problems to my stuffed animals, and I know my grandma visits schools and she helps kids. Thank you, Grandma, for helping Fairport schools.
I would like to introduce Principal Rich Green and Assistant Principal Amy Busby to come forward from Jefferson Avenue. They will have the opportunity to recognize Dr. Judy O'Leary Sargent.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Galler. I'm the current PTA president at JA. I have two children, a second grader and a fourth grader at JA. On behalf of my family and the entire PTA, I want to thank you, the Board of Education, for all of the ways that you support JA in the Fairport schools.
I'm Lorelai Galler. I'm a fourth grader at JA. I'm Layla Costatosian. I'm a fifth grader at JA. It is our pleasure to recognize Mrs. Judy O'Leary Sargent. Mrs. O'Leary Sargent has been on the Board of Education for 1 year. She wanted to be on the Board of Education to help current and future children get the amazing education that her own children got in Fairport. Mrs. O'Leary Sargent loves to visit all of the schools and seeing how teachers bring the Board of Education vision to life for children.
This is the year of wellness at JA. We are focusing on all aspects of wellness, both personal and community. Mrs. O'Leary Sargent shared that she practices wellness by exercising and finding opportunities to meditate. She believes that Fairport teaches the importance of taking care of oneself through relationships, laughter, exercise, compassion, and encouragement towards learning and growth.
In keeping with our theme of wellness, it is our pleasure to donate the book, Breathe and Be, to the JA Library in honor of Mrs. Judy O'Leary Sargent. This is the book of poems that encourage mindfulness.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Leary Sargent, for all the things you do for JA and the Fairport schools.
Thank you, J.A. I would like to have Mr. Pat Groh, principal of Joanna Parent, come forward to recognize Maureen Knupp, who unfortunately is not with us tonight, but is definitely worthy of great recognition. Mr. Groh.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for coming out tonight. To the board, on behalf of JP's family, I'd like to say thanks so much for all you do for all students in Fairport, but especially JP this year. You've already done your board visit. Several of you have come out to help us get our schools to watch read designation too, so thank you so much for that. I'm here tonight with our PTSA president, Kelly Hodge, and two of my favorite 8th graders, Elise Kalfas and Christian Tomasetti. But before I turn over to them, I just want to give a little shout out to Maddie Miles, one of our great 6th graders, for that tonight. Maddie, that's awesome. Definitely worth a donut tomorrow at school. So I'll see you for that. But guys,
On behalf of the staff and students at JP, we'd like to recognize Mrs. Knupp and thank her for the whole Board of Education for their continued support of JP and all Fairport students. We know how much time is spent making sure that we have what we need at school to be successful, and we appreciate all that you do. We'd like to present you with a copy of Ghost Boys by Jewel Parker Rhodes that we'll keep in our school library in your honor. Ghost Boys is a heartbreaking and powerful story about a black boy killed by a police officer, drawing connections through history from award-winning Jewel Parker Rhodes. Only the living can make the whole world better. Live and make it better. 12-year-old Jerome is shot by a police officer who mistakes his toy gun for a real threat. As a ghost, he observes the devastation that's been unleashed on his family and community in the wake of what they see as an unjust and brutal killing. Soon, Jerome meets another girl ghost, Emmett Till, a boy very different but from similar circumstances.
Emmett helps Jerome process what has happened on a journey towards recognizing how historical racism may have led to the events that ended his life. Jerome also meets Sarah, the daughter of the police officer, who grapples with her father's actions. Once again, Jewel Parker Rhodes deftly weaves historical and socio-political layers into a gripping and poignant story about how children and families face the complexities of today's world, and how one boy grows to understand American blackness in the aftermath of his own death.
As a former social studies teacher and someone who's passionate about social justice, I know Ms. Knupp would be very appreciative and welcome that wonderful tribute. Last but definitely not least, Mr. Dunn and I think Mr. Clare, are you coming forward? From Martha Brown School to recognize our Board of Education President, Mr. Peter Forsgren. Martha Brown, he's got a slew of champions to recognize Mr. Forsgren. Thank you.
Good evening, and I just want to reiterate what's been said all night about the board and the support that you give to us. I think Bob Clark said it best. You're allowing us to focus on our kids, and we've got about 15 of them here tonight. Very first county principals meeting, we all shared around with everyone else what our board goals were. And when I shared with them about the whole child tenants and meeting kids where they're at, several of my colleagues says, I want to come to Fairport. So I just can't say enough about the job that you give us and the support that you give us to take care of our kids. So on behalf of that, thank you for the entire Martha Brown School. I'm here with Ryan Carrere. Marcy Hosford is at a PTSA meeting at Martha Brown right now. I told Marcy I'd be a little late, so she was able to be here. But Jolene Rosselli, one of our new teachers, is prepared 5 students to be here and speak on behalf of their board president and 2 of them, their father. It's Mia Castro, Emily Kane, Morgan Robo, and Emma and Lyle Forsgren.
Mr. Forsgren, we heard that you love to learn new things, like a new word a day, practicing your trumpet while driving long distances, always looking up new apps with different ways of learning, and your family considers you a lifetime learner. We chose the book Travels by Charlie by Joan Steinbeck. This story depicts a 1960 road trip around the United States made by Steinbeck. In the company of his standard poodle, Charlie Steinbeck wrote that he has moved by a desire to see his country on a personal level. Since he made his living writing about it, he wrote of having many questions going into his journey, the main one being, what are American likes today?
Because you love to help and serve others, enjoy learning about people and gaining new and different perspective on problems, and many times conversations will have a big impact on you and motivate you to serve others. For these reasons, we have chose the book The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This book is about a 15-year-old boy who is done who is coping with the suicide of his friend Michael. To lessen the fear and anxiety of starting high school alone, Charlie starts writing letters to a stranger, someone he heard was nice but has never met in person.
Dad, because you are especially adept at putting random quotes from Disney movies into normal everyday conversations, and because you are our superhero, we have chosen the book Once Upon a Dream, A Twisted Tale from Liz Braswell.
The book has a surprising new twist to the classic Disney story Beauty and the Beast.
And we do look forward to having you come to Martha Brown this Friday to visit. Thank you for your time.
Once again, thank you to our Board of Education and to our wonderful presenters this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, by the way. That was a fantastic thing to witness here tonight, and it's very well deserved. I joke with Brett. I said I'm going to be attending 4 board meetings this week. You're one of them, but it truly is an honor to get up in front of boards of education because you really are the unsung heroes of districts. Your pay never goes up, by the way, in this, I think you know, but the work you do, the hours you put in, sometimes doesn't go noticed. So it's great to see such a big deal made about board recognition. So congrats, you all very much deserve it. This is going to be very brief. I've been given the job to stall a little bit till somebody from Ray's office shows up. Matt's looking at me, so I will do that. I'm trying to get around for the first half of the year to component boards of education, just to give you an update on a couple of different things. We have a short video I'd like to run for you on some updates or information on our student instructional programs. Many of you have come in for a visit at BOCES. You are welcome to come back. We do have some new programs. We wanted to run something very brief for you, and then I'll answer any questions you have about that. I have a couple of updates to give you, and then I'll be out every week because I know you have a very full agenda. So all set to go. Just a brief video on some changes to our student instructional programs. Thanks.
I'm Dan White, District Superintendent at Monroe and BOCES. We created this short video tour so they can see some of the things that we offer students here at Monroe 1. When students come to attend our programs, they work on the New York State Learning Standards, they prepare for college and career, and they learn how to become productive members of their community and society.
Over the past 60 years, Monroe 1 has evolved to meet the needs of the greater Rochester area. Offering 17 high school level career and technical programs, your students will leave our Eastern Monroe Career Center ready to transition to college or go directly into competitive employment. They will have learned to become responsible team members with a strong work ethic and desire to further develop their critical thinking skills. Children with disabilities have a tremendous ability to learn. They just learn differently. At Monroe 1, we offer a full range of rigorous special education programs and services to the children in your community. Our special education programs and services offer school districts cost-effective options that meet all the regulatory requirements and expand the educational options available to the students in your districts. A full range of services and programs are offered for over 675 students ages 3 through 21. Programs range from fully inclusive to center-based schools. Instructional programs offer opportunities for groupings based upon students' educational, physical, and management needs.
Bird Morgan School, located in East Rochester, serves 145 special education students in kindergarten through 8th grade. Programs provide students with the engaging instruction and emotional support they need to realize their potential as learners and members of the community. The school team collaborates daily to cultivate instructional and therapeutic approaches that best meet the diverse needs of students. Creekside School is a center-based program serving 300 students with multiple disabilities ages 5 through 21. Within the 1214 self-contained setting, students develop academic, communication, daily living, and social skills that will provide the foundation for lifelong success. Creekside uses a multidisciplinary, collaborative approach for developing individualized programs in core subject areas as well as pro-social skills, functional communication, and adaptive living skills. Students also benefit from the community-based instruction and a variety of life skills activities. The Eastern Monroe Career Center offers career training for over 700 high school students to prepare for workplace careers in fields such as construction, professional health services, laboratory technician, computer repair, culinary arts and emergency services, to precision manufacturing and welding. Our students are well prepared for work, college, or post-secondary training and enter the real world with hands-on experience and specific skills required to make an impact on the very first day on the job. The multi-occupational and focus programs are primarily for over 220 high school students with special needs. Students have the opportunity to develop the skills and attitudes they will need to succeed in work and life after high school. O'Connor Academy is a small, structured 611 special education program for over 90 high school students in grades 9 through 12. Students are provided all the necessary requirements to achieve a New York State Regents or local diploma and/or a CDOS credential. They are also eligible to participate in career and technical education classes or in a vocational program on campus. Project Search is a partnership with Wegmans, who provides employment training, and Monroe One BOCES, who provides education to students with developmental disabilities in their last year of school eligibility to prepare them for competitive employment. Transition Opportunities at the University of Rochester, or TOUR, is a college program serving 24 students ages 18 through 21 with intellectual disabilities. Students work towards completing their portfolio, which includes taking college classes and participating in college clubs and activities. eStart is a 9th through 12th program designed for students with average to above average academic skills. eStart is a 611 collaboration with Hillside Children's Center located in the Carlton Webster Building in Henrietta. The program provides an academic setting with the support of Hillside clinicians to meet students' needs. Students and families continue to access community supports for their psychiatric care and management. Transition programs are designed for students 18 through 21 years of age with multiple challenges. Instructional emphasis is placed on the development of skills at work, at home, and in the community. The program is located in the 12 Corners Elementary School in the Brighton Central School District.
I hope you enjoyed this virtual tour. We would invite you to come visit us for part or all of the day and meet some of the students and faculty that make these programs so special. Thank you.
Thanks for indulging that. It's not always possible for boards to get around to visit. There's a number of new programs in there and adjustments to that, and that's one of the reasons we developed the video, so there could be some information that gets out to component boards of education with a little bit better understanding of some of the changes we've made there. A couple of things to note on that, and this is something that your superintendent knows very well, your business official knows very well, and your other administration. We are, particularly in Creekside program, bursting at the seams. It is a very unique regional program, and we have referrals from as far away as Grand Island and Buffalo and almost to Syracuse and down to the Pennsylvania border, and that's due to the unique nature of the programming that exists there. Because of that, one of our priorities moving forward as an organization is looking at capital improvements and capital work, looking for additional space and so forth. We also know that we need to do this in a way that it does not affect component boards of education in their districts in terms of the tax levy cap. BOCES capital is not exempt from the tax levy cap as local debt servicers school district capital is. That is likely not to change anytime soon, so we are looking at ways to finance this that does not put you in jeopardy when you're trying to develop your budgets in the spring. But it is a need. Many of you know and have visited the Foreman Center and our main campuses. Those buildings were built in the early to mid 60s, and you can put patches on them for so long before you have to do pretty significant renovation. And you would guess by looking at the career and technical education programs and some of the higher needs special education programs, they are infrastructurally intensive, you might say, so there's some work needing to be done there. You're probably going to be hearing more about that, and that's something we talk with our component superintendents and business officials about pretty regularly. Last thing I'll say is, I know Maureen's not here tonight, but thank you for sharing her with us. Our board meetings are very interesting, and though she does a wonderful job, she's a great representation for you at our board table, and we're thankful that she's able to participate on our Board of Education, so thank you for that. I want to pause there because I see Ray has come in, but I want to see if you have any questions or any comments I can field from you.
It's my polite pause right there to see if somebody's going to jump in.
You got it.
But in terms of the technical training, so I think I've probably told you in the past, but I was a BOCES, or they didn't call it BOCES when I was a kid, but
sure,
a product of welding and drafting and during my curriculum in school, and I think it served me well as I went on to develop a career. But in terms of the graduates of your technical programs, do you track them at all in terms of, do they go on to get jobs in the field?
We do.
Or do they go to colleges, 2-4-year colleges?
So it's a great question, David. Thanks for asking. We actually get a very good response to our postgraduate surveys. About 70% of our students go on to, immediately after they graduate, some form of post-secondary college. So 2-year school, trade school, or 4-year college. What's interesting about that is if you poll those kids when they come in, beginning of 11th grade, less than 20 or 25% would say, I'm going to go on to do that. But one of the benefits they get by coming to career and technical education is they will earn 9, 12 college credits before they graduate. It gets them matriculating, if you will, in some of those programs, gets them connections. So about 70% go on, another 20 to 25% do a combination of post-secondary training and I would say in the industry that they have trained for. So as you obviously know, a lot of employers now are investing heavily in post-secondary training, although it may not be accredited through higher ed. One of the things we tell kids is this will not be your last time in the classroom, whether it is in a college or if you're in a corporate setting. So by and large, the kids are going on to either higher ed or working in the fields that they go into. There are some trades that get snapped up right away. So anybody we can produce in welding, we can produce in metal fabrication, engineering fabrication, those type of things. We have employers ready before they come out the door, as you might imagine. Absolutely. So seeing nothing else, I do very much appreciate the time. As you know, you are right around the corner. You are always welcome to visit, and I'm always available to answer any questions you have. So thanks for the time tonight, folks. Enjoy the evening.
Thanks, and we appreciate the service.
Good evening. Thank you. How's that? That's better. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to stop by and share a few thoughts about the audit. We had another very successful audit this year. Things went very smooth. We had no significant adjustments, and we have no recommendations that are anything that would be a high risk or a weakness in your procedures. We only have a couple of minor suggestions, which certainly is a very positive thing. When it comes to the actual numbers, you'll see, and I'm sure you'll get a chance to read through the 62-page document, which is very simple and straightforward, but you will see that it's a very positive financial condition of the district. You continue to be in very good financial shape. Last year, your budgets developed about $4 million of surplus, which was added to your overall equities, which certainly is very good. Your total reserves at this point are around $25 million. So your balance sheet is very good, very, very sound. And again, your budget developed some surplus. Going forward, I'm sure that most of the money you have placed in capital reserves for future capital projects and renovations, which certainly is probably one of my first choices if I was making the decision to help finance capital projects. So you've utilized your reserves very well. Your financial condition is very good. We had no major adjustments, and no major comments concerning your controls, procedures, and/or policies. So with that, are there any questions?
I hope that's a good sign as well, as part of the audit.
I think so. Well, I'm available anytime if during the year, if anything comes up. I know it's not easy, especially with the tax cap and your budgets and everything else. This is not an easy job. But things went extremely well financially for the school this year.
I do have I'm curious. You worked with the district for a long time.
Yep.
Through our previous business official, and now with Matt for the last few years. Have you seen, has there been any significant change in I know we've had a lot of continuity as well, but has there been any change in strategy or just something that the board? I don't mean this in a negative way, Matt, so just curious.
You know, and I don't think there really is anything significant that I'm aware of. No, and again, what we look at when we come in with my staff people is we look at the numbers, and we see, you know, what happened last year, anything significant changes, any variances, things of that nature, and this past year everything came out very well. So that certainly is a reflection that management and you folks set a good budget last year. So, you know, I don't think I could compare prior years really, except that this year really was very well. Went very well.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Thank you, Matt.
And thanks that the policies, procedures are in place, because I said that a lot to you, Mr. Eckert up there, right? Thank you, because that it's good to know that the money's being kept appropriately and accounted for. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very
right.
good. Thank
Always
you,
good to
folks.
see you. We did share our
Thank you,
notes
Ray.
from Audit Finance Committee with the other board.
So my name is Will Hughes, and I'm serving as the student representative to the Board of Education this year. I first want to apologize for my absence at the last meeting. I was in Washington, D.C. for the Senior Leadership Seminar class, and so it was a little bit further away than I had hoped to be for that first meeting. But since I'll be talking with you guys at least once a month this year, I kind of want to give you guys sort of an overview of who I am. So I'm a senior this year at the high school. I play the cello in the school's orchestra as well as in the pit orchestra as well for the musicals. I'm a Boy Scout, and this past year I was able to obtain my Eagle Scout rank. I swim and play soccer for the school as well. And outside of school, after school, I plan to pursue student ministry and become a youth pastor after going to school at either Indiana or Southern Wesleyan University. So that's a little bit about me, but what I'm really here to tell you all about is what is happening at our school. And for me, sports is a big part, being part of the soccer and swim team. And this is a very exciting time of year because of all of our tremendous athletes as well and how hard they've worked going into sectional playoffs throughout these next few weeks. Both our boys and girls soccer teams, along with the volleyball teams, have matches going on this week and this weekend to start those playoffs, as well as the football team, as Mr. Provenzano will know, whose son is on the team, have matches that are going on that are big throughout the school, and that's creating a lot of excitement and hype, as we call it, for these teams that are going out there and playing sports to represent our school. And so that's kind of what's happening right now. That's a lot of the big theme is all of these playoff games that are happening because they bring us all together as one Fairport family if we're not on the field or out on like the court or something. They're always on the sidelines or in the bleachers cheering all of us on, and it really means a lot to, I know, myself along with all of my teammates and all the players out there to have everyone out there supporting us. Another big thing is Red Ribbon Week coming up next week. We just had our student council meeting on this today to plan out sort of what will be happening next week. I can see you guys, some of you guys have your red ribbons on already, so that's great to see. And so that's sort of just a couple brief things that are happening throughout this month, into next month as well. So thank you.
Hey, well, good luck with sectionals.
Thank you.
And next time, you could FaceTime this group right here. They can handle it.
All right.
No matter where you are, we'll FaceTime.
All right. That sounds good. Thank you.
You have to make the cycle. Shake
So President's report,
Forrest Grant, appreciate those comments. Matt Stevens and see Chris here, great job with the audit and how you manage and lead us through the year as we develop budget and fiscal sustainability in our district. Herb Graham once said, and we all know who Herb Graham is and what he's meant to the community, you have to embrace, and I've said this, you have to embrace what the community has to offer. And this community has so much to offer, and they're willing to be a part of so many different experiences that are so unique and intertwined into our Fairport values and things that we do as a community. I'm proud of the Board of Education. That was a great recognition, and the Board of Education really, it sets the tone and allows us to do things that we take for granted and experience in so many different ways here. So it's humbling to be a part of the interactions that this group has on a daily basis. To our staff members who are here in your roles, I really appreciate you embracing the Fairport values, the things that are important to us, because you are the ones who implement what's important to the Board of Education, what we try to do together as a school community. I'm privileged to serve with all of you, and I'm grateful for all that you do. I wouldn't be able to do it without you in every facet here. Mr. Forsgren was talking about, homecoming weekend. It was pretty much the kickoff of our Make a Difference campaign. To date, and this is old. These are old numbers, and the numbers might have increased since homecoming. But we're probably just over $25,000 in how much money the community has raised to support, childhood cancer. And throughout the year, every building has embraced this theme. And that's another theme: is coherence. We're trying to build upon the great Fairport spirit that is so deep and woven into our community. And this night was an incredible night, done like no other school district or community. Our homecoming is second to none, and I'm proud and truly humbled and so grateful to be the superintendent of our district. There's about, I asked Fritz Killian, our athletic director, how many students are participating in interscholastic sports? Give me an estimate. He said 825, Brett. Exactly. It was, again, over 25 students are engaged in activities. We have an incredible selection for all students to participate in these activities. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of students participating in our extracurriculars, our co-curricular activities in the name of clubs and after-school activities, and that's intentional. And it's unique to who we are. The ensembles are starting to get ready for their fall concerts, and it's going to be great to see all those ensembles in action. If you take a look at these inductees of our Alumni Wall of Fame, they are just emblematic of who we are. And I think the Board of Education would be proud that we have entrepreneurs here. We have social justice advocates, organizational leaders, politicians who strive to make a difference and to make the quality of life for those around us better. These people are the people that we honored and recognized during homecoming, and they're just a microcosm of what our whole community is about, what our Board of Education is about, what the Board of Education strives to achieve in all of our children, so they could become adults who are contributors, who come back to their community and believe in their community. All of these wonderful people who we honored spoke to our strong values and commitments here in Fairport. Speaking about commitments here in Fairport, this month I'm really going to focus in on our facilities planning and things that we've accomplished to date through our strategic initiatives. The initiative that we're focusing in here, facilities meet and exceed current operational standards as defined by the New York State Building Condition Survey. Review and improve building safety requirements and processes district-wide. This is happening throughout the year. We're reviewing our safety measures, our security in all of our buildings throughout our district. Our safety coordinators are here tonight. Becky Short, Susan Waltz, and Deborah Miles, along with our buildings and grounds, Ross Chula, to talk about the safety and security of our schools. It's going to be a year-long opportunity to study the things that we're doing well, but also look at gaps and how we can continue to try to improve to make sure our environments are safe. Create a multi-year plan to the essential building improvements identified in the New York State mandated building condition survey. Every 5 years we have to complete the building condition survey. In fact, we're up on another round that will be coming very soon to renew our building condition survey. The Board of Education is reviewing the building condition survey. It's important that they understand what's in the building condition survey. Principals had their voice in the building condition survey. Representatives from Labella helped define the building condition survey, and the board is looking at it closely in workshops, and it'll be parts of future conversations. So we're moving along and understanding that, how it will impact future planning as we move along. Continue to implement and document preventative maintenance plans that result in cost avoidance. I'll be talking a little bit about that today as we move along here. And of course, initiative number 2, which is a cost-benefit analysis of Minerva Land and FHS, which is an ongoing conversation that we'll be having. There was a community letter that I sent out that spoke to us extending the timeline on this, so the board will have an opportunity to make an informed decision by March or April to determine their next steps with those 2 facilities. The strategic plan in motion. It's important that the community school members understand that work has been underway. One of the main initiatives, as I just said, was to make sure that we're maintaining our physical plant, that we're protecting our investments, making sure that our communication system is 21st century. Our communication system is being upgraded throughout the district. You'll see that Northside Dudley, Fairport High School have new systems in place. Other buildings will be following suit over the next 2 years as part of our maintenance and enhancing our communication. Paving throughout Fairport occurred. I know if you went throughout our district, paving is fundamental. You need to make sure that the roadways are safe, that there's integrity to their structure, and this summer there was 365,000 square feet of pavement done throughout the district. Seal coating and stripping, you've seen throughout the district as well, at Northside Dudley District Office and at Fairport High School. HVAC repairs, making sure that we have air quality, making sure the air quality is of the highest level, maintaining all of our systems that have to do with our HVAC in our buildings. These were the buildings that were received repairs this past summer. JA Playground received a makeover at the kindergarten playground area. Again, just to make sure that they had the best possible facilities to play and do what kids do best in those environments. If you go to Martha Brown, I just saw a really cool video that I wish I had. It was the workers laying the sod on the field. I'll make sure I get that and share that with you. It's really cool how that happens. But the building condition survey identified that this playing field needed repairs. It was a it posed a safety risk, and it became a priority and was part of our summer work. And it's going on right now and should be done as we conclude the fall and into the spring, and it'll be a viable field for the future. Outside security cameras at FHS and Martha Brown were added, and we are looking to take the partitions out of the gymnasium and change those over to the curtains as we move through the school year. And if you've been down there, you know that that's a priority, and the amount of maintenance throughout the years that have occurred warrants that to be a priority in our process. So we have over $1 million worth of summer work, again, to protect our investments, to make sure that we're doing all we can for our students so they have quality facilities, and of course our staff to operate and give our students the very best. There's also the capital outlay projects that are part of every budget process. The stage sound shell was completed in 2015 and 16. These are $100,000 projects. The FHS guidance HVAC, the Martha Brown Library HVAC, the JA main entrance vestibule to support safety and security was last year. And that will be look to be completed in 2018 and 19. And we're hoping to recommend that the Brooks Hill Library receive air conditioning as we move into the future. All in the name of facilities planning and supporting our strategic initiative. When you see something, say something. This was something that we've shared with the community. There's an online form. As we move forward, we're looking to add a 800 number, so there's multiple ways that community members, students can report if they see something that's troublesome, bully, harassment, safety, anything in the realm of safety and security. They would have multiple different measures to do so, and this was something that was added this past summer, the online form, and now again, as we move along, the 800 number will be coming, and we'll be sharing that specific number to our community in the very near future. October 5th was our superintendent's conference day. I've been here for 14 years, and I can truthfully say it was truly exciting as far as those days go. We were aligned. All buildings throughout the district were communicating and collaborating on safety in the morning with the Monroe County Sheriff. We have and our Fairport Police Chief, Sam Farina. We're wonderful partners in providing a structure so our staff can interact and talk about something that's on everybody's minds, and that's safety and security. I appreciate their partnership. You're going to hear a little bit from Chief Farina in a moment when we talk about the security audit and how that's going to be played out throughout the year. But again, having our professionals interact with each other and talk about this important conversation and message was well needed, and the beginning of just many more. In the afternoon, we talked about our curriculum, making sure that our staff are aligned from an instructional and curriculum and instructional standpoint. And I think that they appreciated the time together and seeing our administrators, our directors, and our principals lead these conversations. The C&I team was an incredible force in helping us be organized. Thank you, Ms. Wheeler, to you and your team, and again to all the building principals who led sessions and are conveying the message of what we're trying to accomplish with developing coherence throughout our programming. No matter what school you go to, you're guaranteed an incredible, strong 21st century curriculum. Speaking about 21st century curriculums and what 21st century learning means to us as a district, because it does mean something different for Fairport. And I think this is our opportunity, again, to build off what we talked about last year with what are the skills, what are the experiences we hope and aspire our students to be a part of in all of our schools. This will be on November 29th at 6:30 in the Fairport High School auditorium. And the topic is, what does it mean to prepare the whole child for the 21st century? And it's going to be an engaging conversation. It's going to be informative as the board develops their vision statement for future endeavors in our district. And we're looking forward to sharing more about this in the very near future. Fairport High School was recognized as a National Blue Ribbon School. It was an incredible accomplishment for this one purpose. We filled out the application and we used information that highlighted who we are as a community. It was about the whole child. It was about the diverse programming that we have here to support all students along the learning curriculum. I was taking a look at the application, which was done thoroughly and thoughtfully, and I was proud that it represented Fairport High School. It's a great honor for Bob Clark and his team and his staff and students, and it's also a tribute to what the board aspires us all to be. Johanna Perrin is a school to watch. They went for their redesignation this past month, and we're looking forward to hearing. And as of course, Martha Brown celebrated their redesignation last year, doing great things in our schools. They're recognized as special places, and we're happy to celebrate with all of them. We'd like to congratulate 4 master teachers. Were selected to be part of the New York State Master Teacher Programming. That's Corey Cianfrocco at Fairport High School. Gene Hensel, science teacher. Corey's a math teacher. Michael Caseman's a math teacher at Minerva DeLand, and Kathy Rodzinski is a second grade teacher. And the master teacher acknowledges those staff who have passed and shown prowess in science, technology, engineering, and math, and in any of those disciplines. We have 15 master teachers. We have 27 nationally board certified teachers in this district. And that's pretty overwhelming from a region and state level, and I'm proud of our teachers and the commitment they have to be the best they could be for each other, and most importantly for our students. If you visit our social media, our website, Twitter and Facebook, there's a concerted effort to communicate what we're accomplishing academically, social, emotionally. We're trying to create storylines in all the different areas of our strategic initiatives so we can inform the community of our progress, but most importantly, celebrate the great things that are occurring in all of our schools. There was a piece that just went up, I was told, on robotics. That was the news feature on our STEM Spotlight. Last week it was our Dudley students who, our Dudley kindergarten students who went to Chase Farms and were able to experience science from that perspective. So a lot of great things happening. It's on social media. We hope that you take time to visit and enjoy the journey as we all go through it together. Thank you.
Thank you. Matt, and how do
$33.3 million, receipts for the month of $3.1 million, disbursements of $5.2 million for an ending cash balance of $31.1 million. Of the 31.1, approximately $22 million is invested in a combination of treasury bills, CDs, and insured cash sweep account. I just want to draw one quick note. As you look at the revenues and the cash inflow, you see about $2.8 million came from the state and county sales tax. That money is actually 17-18 revenue. So those are accruals that we don't receive until August. That's revenue from the previous school year. So I think that's a pretty good note to see that our revenues to pay for last year's expenses are actually coming in the following fiscal year for us. So it's important to have that fund balance. Helps get us through the summer and payrolls and those things that we keep doing as a district. So thank you.
Thanks. That report is part of our consent calendar. The next
So it's not a single year MOA, but is that correct?
No, this one's only for this school year.
I thought I read, it said 2021 on the actual document. I can check on that.
It's definitely an action. It's a yearly item that occurs, and
I did read it, so but it said 2021, so I thought that was abnormal, but thank you.
Are you comfortable moving forward with approval or with that, or do you want that checked on? Yeah, we can delay a
I'm fine with
vote
the
if
content
needed.
of what it said. I just think we might want to check on the date.
Yeah, no, if you're comfortable, then we'll go ahead and take a vote on it, right? Okay, all in favor? 6-0. And then an agreement, item F, between the school district and a teacher. Need a motion to approve this agreement. Judy first, Marty second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? 6-0. Presentations, we've knocked one of these off already, right? So we'll have our monthly transportation.
Congratulations to y'all. So here to speak about the 2016 Transportations Facilities Capital Project. So the 2016 and the 2015 capital improvement projects, the Transportation Facility Capital Project incidental budget is $1,839,200. Construction contingency is $403,100. Combined construction contracts budgets is $9,740,000 and change. Transportation facility referendum is $8,957,700. 2015 SIP referendum is $782,680. The adjusted construction contingency budget is $403,100. The approved change order total is $25,406, and the remaining construction contingency is $377,694. Construction project is approximately 45% complete. Contingency budget is 6% spent. The contract allowances approved totals is $31,355. Project team is currently following approximately $247,491 in pending issues.
So is the 45% complete? Is that on schedule? We pretty much keeping?
Yes, I'm pretty close. I had a little bit of slip. We had one rafter that was came in that was slightly damaged, so we had to send it back. They sent another one that was incorrect. We had to send it back. Then flow hit, and of course it comes from North Carolina, so I couldn't get all of the roof panels up like I wanted to. So I do have a little slip, about 2 weeks.
Couldn't go to Lowe's?
I couldn't go to Lowe's. If I can return the metal, I'll donate the steel, the proceeds to the district. Anyway, so we did incur a little bit of slip, and I'm hoping to make up the time. We are currently looking at ways to change the schedule around to make up a little bit of time. Northside and Dudley Elementary Schools, all of the site work commenced on March 26, 2018, and to date everything has been completed. I just have a little bit of caulking, so, but for the most part everything is done. Transportation Center, site work. This is pretty much in October and early November. The fuel line and canopy work is still ongoing. Retention pond I put off until early November. We have a lot of action right in the front of the building, so I really don't want to put anybody in jeopardy. Same with the oil separator. Sidewalk is being prepared for concrete along A-Rolt Road, so we'll have that in prior to the winter. Site electrical work, installation of conduit of fuel islands, that's ongoing, and boring under the road for the fiber optic line that's going to happen in early November. Building work to follow in October, early November is the masonry work, so we're doing interior and exterior walls, and that's ongoing. You're going to see actually when you're driving past by the bus wash area, that's going to start to be erected, which is kind of exciting because it's a nice big wall. Decorative stone masonry work on the facade is ongoing. I have a few pictures of that. It looks great. Concrete floor slabs on the second floor deck and above bus wash areas. That's actually been installed. That was installed a few days ago. Steel erection and detailing is ongoing. Again, I didn't have that rafter, so we're trying to make up time. MEP rough-in work is ongoing, and underslab electrical and plumbing work is ongoing. Everybody's working in unison. Installation of under-slab bus lift equipment. That was actually just put in yesterday, so we're looking pretty good there, a little bit ahead of schedule. And the electrical work is being installed within the masonry walls as they're being erected. So I have a few photos. These are the floor joists. They're being installed. Actually, once they're installed, there's a metal deck, and then the concrete is installed, and that happened on half of the building. I can't do the other half until I get all the rafters up in the roof, and then I can finish that section up. Here's the second floor deck installation. What you see here in metal is now covered in concrete. And these are the interior masonry walls that are being erected. And you can see the monitors, the colors. I mean, this is a little vague here, but it's the wall is actually beautiful. The stone facade work is great. The architects picked a wonderful product, and the district truly picked out some nice stuff. So it's going to look fantastic. This is actually behind that wall, and this is the waterproofing membrane, the spray membrane that's installed. And what you saw the last picture is actually in a corner, and we started that section, and this whole wall is actually done at about a 5 or 6 foot level. So if you drive past, you can see it. It looks really great. This is the fuel island. So we actually have boxed it out, so we're ready to actually pour concrete and complete the fuel island. I'm hoping within the next month. And that's it for me. Any questions? Yes. Yes, sir. Basically for snow, if they can push snow in that section, and any overage of rainwater, and basically it's a retention pond, so any overflow would go in there in case there are large storms, and that'll dissipate the water. So it's just a collection pool.
So the fiber optics that you're putting under the road, what does that connect to?
Eventually connect to the new building. Basically, it's being installed. It's just a new service. Everything is being upgraded. Everything is new.
Do we have a single connection in and out of that building?
It's multiple.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? And again, tonight was fun, so thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
So, you know,
Is the blue light on? That's why. All right, there you go. Well, thanks for having me with you this evening. I appreciate the opportunity to speak before you. Mr. Superintendent, thank you for asking me to provide information about the audit that we discussed. Before I start, I really would like to express my thanks and note that the folks that I've had the opportunity and privilege to work with from the administration here in Fairport School District for the past 3 years have been incredible. Incredible professionals, incredible as far as competence, caring. I've been thoroughly impressed with the caliber of folks here in the school district. So it's important that you know that from my perspective. It's been a great working relationship, not only with the superintendent, but every school principal that I collaborate with almost daily on issues that you may never even hear about that we're able to resolve without any problems. So take stake in knowing you got some great people working here. With that said, the superintendent and I spoke about our priority in law enforcement is the safety and security of our students, our juveniles, our young ones, our loved ones that attend schools. So with that in mind, I was asked about participating in a school vulnerability assessment at each building that I'm going to do in conjunction with your approval with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. What we hope to accomplish with that is really a standard of different things, reviewing current policies, student code of conduct, intervention and prevention plans, the role of law enforcement in the schools, the standards for safety and security, the review of safety and security for each building and grounds, make sure we are in compliance with the SAVE Act, with New York State, and whatever else each school district or each school building has to, is found to be important that we bring to our attention during the course of this audit. And what we hope to do is a survey of each school with the community populations in mind, a walkthrough of every school grounds and facilities, review of the past incidents that have occurred, review of the emergency plans, the drills that have been conducted, and then also getting input from all the stakeholders involved in each building. And that's the managers, teachers, personnel that work there, counselors, school nurse, the students themselves, as well as parents. So it's going to be a whole 360 review of safety and security at each building. And also, more importantly, something that's not really seen anywhere in the country that there's a lot more focus on is after-school activities, because most of the time we're focused and concentrate on what happens during school hours and less on what happens after school hours. So that'll be part of that review as well. So I've created a timeline, I think that's been shared with you. Our hope is to be done with this probably around May and have something for you to review prior to full consideration on our review. And that's our hope. And the best part about this for you guys from a financial standpoint, it's free.
Love it.
And it's something that we talked about. And I think, I mean, most of the country is going to private security consultant firms to do this. I think we would do a disservice here in this district for having us because of our intimate working relationship that we have. And we know the buildings, and it would also help us out from a law enforcement standpoint to know the inner workings of the buildings. I think it's a good opportunity for us to collaborate and do it for you at our pace and at the same time and provide some invaluable information, because we all have a vested interest in the outcome of this study.
There will be periodic reports to the district-wide safety team. And we're going to look at what that ideal situation is and understand what the gap is between the two. But there has been a concerted effort to ensure the safety and the security of the students as it stands today. And we're very comfortable about what's being done right now in the school district. We're just hoping to enhance that
that much more. And the last thing I'll leave with is the October 5th training that we participated in and facilitated. I'll speak to the Fairport Police. Our folks that were involved in the training, I think, got more out of that than was taught. It was a good experience for us. I got a lot of great feedback from our officers that were part of that program. I think it's a great partnership that we have today, and we look forward to doing more training. And there's nothing more frightening as a law enforcement officer than to stand before teachers and try to do a presentation without being criticized. So it kind of brings you back to your juvenile days, but I'd rather teach before policemen and in-service training than do that again. But no, they were great, and great questions. It was a great dialogue, and it was well worth the effort, and we benefited just as much as
I
you
was
did.
able to get to all the buildings.
There are activities happening. I thought there would be more.
These are school-sponsored booster clubs.
So you're saying there are other boosters for the non, but
Well, there's the Odyssey, the Mine, but they're not, you know.
Robotics, right?
Robotics, I don't believe they have a booster, no. They just have fundraising efforts, great efforts with that.
okay. Other questions? All in favor? 6-0. Second reading of board policies. Motion to approve, or to accept. Marty, second Judy. And any final if I remember right, July, August, and September. Motion to approve those. Damon, second. Kevin? If anybody's wondering, nope, all the usual findings, but nothing serious, so. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, board comments.
I'm going to mention that tomorrow at Information Exchange, it's moved to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, has Monroe County discussion of school safety, so very pertinent to what we're talking about. They'll have somebody from campus construction about building safety, and Todd Baxter from the sheriff, and someone from Webster School District about their safety plans. So that's open to all board members, 4 to 5:30 at Doubletree.
Just a couple of questions. I'm not going to be able to attend the NISBA conference in New York, so good luck, and I look forward to hearing what you have learned from that experience. I know there was one thing that you were going to be looking at. There was a demo of the board docs program, so is that something that you still have top of mind, and we can make a decision on that pretty quickly after you get back? I think we'll need to either make a decision to go or not go, just to give us time before the contract on BOCES runs out, so. Okay. And the last thing, I just wanted to comment a little bit on mindfulness. I think there's a lot of mindfulness programs happening within the district right now. I think that's great. I think it's awesome, and I think that even in my own life, if we can take a moment to actually appreciate the moment that we're in, it really is settling, so I think that's great for our kids. And I know, Doctor, you probably would have.
Yeah, I actually, I agree. I think it's wonderful. I was just listening to a little bit of research, and one of the things that they were talking about was it didn't matter on what people were thinking about. They were happier if they were experiencing the moment. And so just as a general rule, if you're in your head and you're processing everything else, if you can take a minute and experience what's happening right then, you're likely going to increase your happiness.
Let's do that right now, everybody. Hold hands.
In the moment. And that our students are learning this in kindergarten and 3rd grade and 8th grade and high school. It's kind of wonderful. Yeah.
So I was in my head and I was worried about the MOA. I did go back and check it. It does say non-compliant FEA member schedules for 18-19, but the reference to 2021 is the duration of the contract. So our contract with our amazing teachers is from July 1 of 2018 until June 30th of 2021. That's the reference. Now I can breathe and be mindful.
My last comment will be, I appreciate you sending a couple of articles regarding the best practice or studies around connection through extracurricular activities, and really how healthy and just great for kids that is, and proven that kids that are connected through extracurricular activities do better in school and feel more connected. So I think those are very good articles.
A tribute to the board's priorities. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we do have a proposed for entry to executive session. Need a motion to approve that. Joyce, second. Judy. And just for everyone else, we have no plans to come out and make any decisions, so we'll have a motion to come out into public session. At that point, though, also a motion to adjourn. So no reason to hang around. All in favor? 5-0. One abstention. Okay. Right.
You're
okay.
a troublemaker, Mr. Glover.
Just trying to see if I was noticing. Did I miss others?